What's up, everybody? Hope you're doing well. This week, I'm going to cover a super important topic, and this is vocal mixing. So, what chain that's going to work on pretty much any song. This is a track that I mixed for a client of mine. Shout out to Tony Carter, amazing producer. Sent me these stems last week, and I mixed the song and mastered it for him. I think it turned out pretty great, and this is how the full song sounds in the chorus. So in this video, I'll take you through everything from panning to compression, EQ, tuning, and we'll cover it pretty quick too. So it's not gonna drag on. But this is what the vocal sounds like without any processing, the lead that is. So I'll take all this off.
The roads we're taking, they don't lead to forever now, babe, as we just waste our time.
So, breaking into this here. First thing I did was, I think she already tuned it a bit before she sent it over. Basically, I just added a little bit more auto-tuning.
In a state of mind.
Pretty slow transition in speed, just because the slower, the more natural it'll sound is B minor, so you gotta set that. Had it just on the generic setting there. But yeah, the slower that transition is, then it won't sound super like T-Pain-ish, if you know what I mean. Next thing was some EQing. So I used FabFilter Pro Q3, and I just cut out the lows up to about 250. We didn't really need all that down here. After that, I did some compression using FabFilter Pro C2. So to do that, I had a ratio of about over 5. Pretty quick attack, but a medium release. Yeah, and then a little bit of makeup gain, but not too much. And then I actually threw on a second compressor, the CLA 3A, to do a little bit more subtle, but just pick up a few areas, and then I added some makeup gain to sort of beef it up a bit more.
The roads we're taking.
And then I used this Infinity EQ from Slate Digital. This is a sick EQ. Super visual, sort of like the FabFilter one in that sense. And I really used this to shape the vocal and shape the sound. Next up, I used this De-Esser from Slate Digital as well, the EOSys 2, I believe it's called.
The roads we're taking, they don't lead to forever now, babe.
So what it's doing is it's taking out the sharp T's and P's and S's. Next, oh, this is literally a cheat code, Fresh Air. Such a nice plugin. As you can see, I use a lot of Slate Digital stuff. This is a cool little vocal plate from Valhalla Vintage Verb. So this is a super short decay reverb. I learned this trick from Big Z. It can just actually really like make your vocals sound like more real, like it's in a room with you. So it's very subtle. Mix is only like 6.2%, but without it.
Roads we're taking.
With it.
Roads we're taking.
Kind of adds a little bit of a stereo image to it as well. It gets it out there a little bit more. All right, now into the stuff like reverb, delay. So the first bus that I'm sending it to here is a delay bus. So for this, I'm using repeater, just quarter note on both sides, ping pong, so that it's going side to side a little bit. And then you just kind of mix it in there.
Roads we're taking, they don't.
And then I EQ'd it so that you don't want have any phase issues in the low end. Take out some of the harsh stuff at the top, so you don't really need much for the delay. And then I side chained it. So
roads we're taking, they don't lead to forever now, babe, as we just waste our time.
Okay, so what this is doing now is I'm side chaining this compressor to the vocal so that the delay comes in at the end of every word.
As we just waste our time.
So you can see that happening there. Nice and visual. Okay, what's next? Reverb. Using Valhalla, it's my favorite one, as you can probably tell. Vocal Hall, a bit of a longer decay than that first one, over 2 seconds.
roads we're taking, they don't lead to forever now, babe. As we just waste
I don't know what was going on
time.
So I'm doing the same thing. So I'm side chaining the reverb to the dry vocal signal, which is just being sent. So the dry vocal is being sent in this chain, or sorry, this bus send. So it's literally just sending the dry signal, and then what I'm doing is side chaining the reverb compressor, which is this one, to bus 6, which is that dry signal.
Roads we're taking, they don't lead to forever now, babe.
And then last but certainly not least, I did some parallel compression. So for those of you that don't know what parallel compression is you send the vocal signal to a bus you can also do a copy of the track where you heavily compress it, like really squash it, and then you mix it in with the main signal so that it kind of acts essentially as a nice filler, and it can really beef up the vocal and fill it out and make it sound more full. But again, it's one of those things you don't want to overdo when you're mixing it in.
Are we gonna lose our
So what I did here is I'm using this Pro C2 again.
Are we gonna lose our time to feel alive? Ooh.
So as you can see, there's like a lot of compression happening there. So it's like 19 decibels, almost 20.
To feel
and then what you want to do is you hold Option or Alt, I think it is, and you click on the circle there and it sets it to 0, and then you can mix in this signal. So this is the parallel compression signal.
Are we gonna lose our time to feel alive?
So you don't want that much. And then I also just created a track for that parallel compression so that I could do some automation to it. So I don't know why I did it, but I was just showing you how to do it there. So yeah, I did duck the parallel compression at some points around here. All right, so that's like the majority of the work is just getting the lead done. And then what you can do is for the background vocals, so there's 4 layers. So each background vocal here has a different place in the stereo image. So these 2 hums, I pan them hard right and hard left. And then these 2 layers, still pretty far right, probably could be actually more up.
I've closed up my...
And the vocals right down the center. So yeah, the processing is similar. I had to go in and you know, pick out some new frequencies that I didn't like in each one and adjust some of the other settings. I went pretty heavy on the reverb as well for these. I did an extra one to make them really much more distant and airy. So for this extra reverb, I actually used vintage verb. Yeah, and went like pretty ham on it, as you can see. But yeah, guys.
And I'm waiting, I won't wait here forever now, babe. These dreams that we're chasing, I've closed up mine.
Nice thing about a vocal chain like this is it's going to work on most vocals. So try it out, experiment with it, make it your own, do whatever you can with it. And good luck. Thanks for checking it out. And we'll see you guys next week.